In this video, we are going to create this. And what this is the ink cartridge separator. Remember, our Carabiner pen, Shuttle pen, has 4 different colors of ink you can use. And so these these 4 holes here will separate those 4 ink cartridges that we'll create here in a few minutes. So you want to have a blank slate here. We are going to create a new component. We're going to call that new component the ink cartridge separator. And click OK. All right, we want to create a new sketch in the XZ plane. Okay, so make sure you're in the correct plane. It should say top up here in the upper right-hand corner. And we're going to make a circle centered at the origin. The diameter is 0.545. All right, now I'm going to draw a straight line. So I'm going to go to my line tool, and I'm going to draw a line from the origin straight up to the top. I want to make sure it attaches at the top, so I have this little green X there. Click OK. Now, this line that I just drew, I want to make that a construction line. So I'm going to highlight it, come over to the sketch palette, and pick construction. Now, I'm going to create these little notches that you see here. Okay, and so those are V-shaped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this little V shape at the top. So I'm going to pick line. Now, I don't want these next 2 lines to be construction lines. These are going to be normal lines. But I'm going to go from here to the circle. I want to make sure it attaches. And my other one from this same point to the circle. All right, now if it's not totally even, we're going to do that right now. We're going to add some dimensions to this. The first one from this point to the top should be 0.035. And then from here to here, so I'm going to get this angle, it's going to be 45 degrees. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a perpendicular constraint between this line and this line. So I'm going to come up here to the top, perpendicular, select that line, select that line. Okay, and there you can see I have that perpendicular constraint in there. Now that is a 90-degree notch that's going to get cut through the circle. There's 4 of them. Let me go back here. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to create a circular pattern. So I'm going to go to create, circular pattern. The objects I want to select are these 2 lines here and here. Center point, I might have to come over to the menu and select center point, is the center of our circle. Quantity is 4. And click OK. We're going to finish the sketch. I'm going to put this in my isometric view. What we're going to do next with these triangular notches is we're going to extrude the ink cartridge separator, but we're going to extrude everything except where the notches are. So I'm going to click extrude, and when I select this, I want it to look like you see here. I want those triangular sections to be to not be colored in. And I'm going to raise that up, and we are going to extrude that 0.3 inches. What you'll notice about this when you're done is it's hollow on the bottom. Okay, the command we use to do that is called shell. So I am going to rotate my piece. I'm going to come up here to shell, click the bottom face, and I want to shell that 0.035. Enter. All right, now we need to create these 4 holes. All right, so that is the next process we're going to do. And to start that, I'm going to create a sketch on the top. It'll rotate it out for me. I'm going to draw a couple lines here, and they're both going to be construction lines from the center all the way out. And again, I want that to be a construction line, so I'm going to click on it and make it a construction line. And then I'm going to draw another line from the center up here. I'll make sure I go far enough out. And again, I want that to be a construction line as well. So I have these 2 construction lines. I want them to be 45 degrees apart, so I'm going to click Sketch Dimension, click those 2 lines, type in 45. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place a point on this line here. And that point is going to end up being the center of one of those holes. So create point. If you can't get it to snap to the line, like I can get it to snap to the line here. So I'm going to click. You can put it anywhere at this point. If you can't get it to snap to the line, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here to constraints. You're going to pick the coincident constraint and then click on the line and the point just to make sure that they are on or that they're coincident with each other. Now we're going to click dimension. Make sure you click the center point to that point. All right, so that's aligned. Now if you get something like this, if you kind of bring it closer to this line, it should change for you. Click, and we want that to be 0.15 inches away. And now we've got the center for one of our three. We want to use a circular pattern to rotate that point around so we can get the center of the other three holes. So I'm going to create a circular pattern. Click this point here. For the center point, it's the center of our circle. And we want 4. Click OK. I want to finish the sketch. I'm going to take it to my isometric view, and we're going to use the hole command. So I'm going to come here and select hole. I'm going to click on these 4 points. The settings I want to change in the whole menu is that I want the extent to be all. That means it's going to go all the way through. The diameter, which is the very, very bottom entry, should be 0.13. Click OK. There we go. All right, so we have all the geometry done. Now we just want to change the material. So if I right click and go to physical material, I'm going to go to plastic, and I'm going to go down to plastic, opaque black. And then for appearance, I can close that. For appearance, right click again, go to appearance. We want to go to paint, glossy, enamel black, and slide that over. And there we have our ink cartridge separator. Just make sure you save it. When you save it, you do want to call it the ink cartridge separator. And make sure you save it in your Carabiner shuttle pen location.